Welcome back, Wheel Watchers, to a very special look at a classic episode, returning back the clock to November 25th, 2014, for a full episode of America's Game, Wheel of Fortune. Remember the energy, the excitement, the thrill of the wheel spinning? We're about to relive it all. Get ready to meet our three contestants from that day, all hoping to solve the puzzles, beat the wheel, and walk away with a fortune. Pat Sajak and Vanna White are at the helm, just as we love them, guiding us through every toss-up, every spin, and every nail-biting solve. Let's dive right into our first toss-up puzzle. The category is "What are you doing?" And the letters start appearing. Remember how fast these go? You have to be quick on the buzzer. Our contestants are poised, ready to jump in.
Nice.
And there it is. One of our players buzzes in with making a wish. A great start. It gets them a cool $1,000. In the honor of the first spin of the game, the wheel is waiting. This is where the strategy begins. Do you go for the big money right away, or play it a little safer? See what happens. Now we're into the first round proper. The category is food and drink, a classic. This is always a fun one. Our first contestant spins the wheel, and it lands on a decent value. They call out a T. Vanna heads to the board, and yes, there are a couple of T's up there. The bank starts to build. They decide to buy a vowel, an E. A smart move, as it often is. A few E's pop up, revealing more of the puzzle. The board is starting to take shape now. You can almost see the gears turning in the contestants' heads. Another spin, another letter. They're on a roll. But wait, they hit a bankrupt. Oh, the agony. All that money gone in an instant. That's the cruelty and the excitement of the wheel. It can give and it can take away. Now control passes to the next contestant. It's their first chance to spin, and they're hoping for better luck. The category is still food and drink. They give the wheel a confident spin. It lands on $500. Not a huge amount, but it's a safe start. They call an S, and Vanna reveals a few of them. Good call. The audience is cheering them on. They decide to spin again, feeling a bit more adventurous. This time it lands on a bigger wedge. They call an R, and yes, it's there their total is climbing. Do they solve, or do they keep spinning? They decide to spin one more time, and it pays off, landing on a nice cash value. They call a C, and it's a good one. At this point, they feel confident. They go for the solve, freshly squeezed orange juice, and they are absolutely right. Fantastic solve, and they've banked a very nice amount to kick off their game. Let's jump to our second toss-up puzzle. This time, the category's place. The letters start popping up. It's a race against the clock and each other. And just like that, our third contestant buzzes in. The answer? Public library. Correct. $2,000 in their pocket, and they get to start the next round. It's anyone's game at this point. The scores are still relatively close, and we have a lot of puzzles left to solve. This round features the mystery wedge. Remember this? One side has a cool $10,000, but the other side is a bankrupt. It's the ultimate risk-reward. The category is before and after. These can be tricky, combining two phrases into one. Our contestant starts with a spin, lands on a good value, and calls a common letter. It's on the board. Now they land on the mystery wedge. The tension is palpable. Do they risk what they've already won for a shot at 10 grand? The audience is shouting suggestions. They decide to go for it. Pat asks them to flip it over, and it's the $10,000. The crowd goes wild. What a move. They still have to solve the puzzle, though. They buy a few vowels, the board becomes clearer, and they solve it. Happy birthday, cake mix. Correct. And just like that, they've rocketed into a commanding lead with over $10,000. But as we know, a lead is never safe on Wheel of Fortune. We move on to the next puzzle, the prize puzzle round. This is where a correct solve not only wins you cash, but also an amazing trip. The category is fun and games. Our contestant in second place needs to make a move here. They start spinning, building up some cash, calling letters like N and G. They land on the wild card, which they wisely pick up. This could be crucial later on. The puzzle is slowly revealing itself. Looks like it has something to do with an outdoor activity. They put the pieces together and solve it. Riding a zip line, correct? They win the money from the round, and Pat reveals the prize. A fabulous trip to a tropical destination where they can do just that. Our total gets a massive boost, and the game is suddenly very, very close again. Time for our third and final toss-up, worth $3,000. Category's living thing. This one goes by in a flash. One contestant buzzes in almost immediately with Beautiful Butterfly. Correct. A quick $3,000. And that brings us to the final spin of the main game. Pat gives the wheel that last spin, and the pointer determines the value for every consonant in this round. It lands on a big one, $5,000 per letter, plus the $1,000 vowel bonus. This changes everything. The category is phrase. Every letter called is a huge swing in the game. The contestant in the lead gets to start. They call a letter, and it's there. $5,000. The next contestant calls a letter, and it's there twice. $10,000. The lead is changing with every single turn. This is what we love about the final spin. The board fills up quickly. It's a tense back and forth. Finally, one contestant sees the answer. They shout it out, "You can count on me," and they are right. That solve earns them a massive amount of cash and secures their spot as the big winner of the day, heading to the bonus round. What an incredible comeback. They were trailing just a few moments ago, but that final spin turned everything around. They finished the main game with a fantastic total. Now for the final challenge, the bonus round, they are playing for a huge cash prize, or maybe even a new car. Letting that smaller wheel a spin, landing on one of the envelopes. Pat takes it and places it on the podium. It's the category's thing. As always, they are given the standard letters are S, T, L, N, and E. Vanna lights them up on the board. Doesn't reveal much, just a couple of letters. They need to choose 3 more consonants and 1 more vowel. They pick their letters, hoping for the best. Vanna touches the screen, and a few more letters appear. The 10-second timer starts. The pressure is on. They're staring at the board, sounding out possibilities. A big job. A big jog? The clock is ticking down? 3, 2, 1. Time's up. They couldn't quite figure it out. Pat reveals the answer was a big joke. Oh, so close. And then the moment of truth. What was in the envelope? Pat opens it to reveal $32,000. A tough loss, but they are still walking away as a big champion with all the money they won in the main game. What a performance, and what a fantastic episode from 2014. Thanks for taking this trip down memory lane with us. It's always a blast to revisit these classic Wheel of Fortune episodes. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more great content. We'll see you next time.